Ah, Rose Nose.
Unless you sound like old dirty ass motherfucker.
Ro shit hit different.
Ro take a long time, man. I hate these artistic dudes.
He's coming.
Yeah, what's Ro?
Come on, Ro.
I know they mad. They can't stop. Number one soundtrack in America. Black on. The number one movie. Went from making records. Making the whole Bible. VHS. Soundtrack. The soundtrack. Told y'all to run the movie. Told y'all I'm gonna show y'all how to clean your dirty money up with good money.
What you think about her?
My partner gave me 50.
This is the I'm Kinda Famous podcast. I'm your host, Lester Rowe. New week, new episode. Episode 106 of the I'm Kinda Famous podcast. Looking at tit.
Those are not real right there.
You don't think that's real?
Hell no, that ain't real. The first one you
First
said.
of all, that's the same person. Hold on. There we go. KINDA Famous Pod, POD.com, the official website. Kinda Famous Pod on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, they real.
She's beautiful.
She on some hater shit.
I just said she was beautiful.
Facebook.com/Kinda Famous Pod. Go over there. That's where I post a bunch of things. Arrowfilms.com, AROWE films.com, my official website to see what I'm working on. If I'm even talking about what I'm working on at that time. Clean Ass People Collectors. Get them. Arrowfilms.com/buy now. Or you can go to Facebook page, Kinda Famous Pod. Got them linked up somewhere around there. You can get them shirts or them shorts. Got 2 different designs. You get the cosmic culture too. I forget about the cosmic culture for people into astrology. Got those shirts.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, them fly too. Man, I ain't got it over here. We'll get you. What size shirt you wear right now?
Medium. Take
that off. Go. There's one in there. Of them cosmic cultures. Anyway, Brittany's back on here again. She made me drink. So
what?
If I do not sound crisp and sharp, it is because of her.
Joint effort here.
And she told me about a whole bunch of barbiturates and things that she's done.
What?
Today. 25 of the best Wolf of Wall Street drugs you can find.
Oh, God. Do not believe anything this man says.
You got to, because I'll be spitting facts on a consistent and regular basis. Now, for me, I just celebrated a birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. You know, I'm one of them people who don't really bring too much acknowledgement to my birthday.
You've got to, though.
But what?
Because not everybody gets to live to make it to the next one. There's a lot of people, especially women, who don't like to embrace their age. And then I've never been that way. You know, it's like there's a lot of people that don't get to make it to that next one. Everyone is a blessing. So you got to be able to embrace it. And this is your day to be able to celebrate and enjoy yourself, get a little, extra like treatment in some way. If somebody ain't going to do it for you, you got to do it for yourself.
Man, if somebody would have pinned, I should have pinned $1 on my shirt. And I would have, got a little extra little piece of bread.
There you go.
But I got pulled over on my birthday.
Did you get a ticket though?
Nah.
What'd they pull you over for? Because
my registration is expired. Look, I'm out here living my best life. I ain't got time to be at the DMV.
You better do that text ahead and get that shit fixed.
Yeah, you said text some head. What?
See, you heard what you want to heard on that one.
What did you say?
Yeah, I heard. So you can do where you text in and
just
then
cleaned it up.
And then they will text you back, so you don't got to go sit in the DMV all day.
I know, but it's the idea of still waiting. Like that's what my mom. I told my mom because she called me. One thing about my mom, she called me at the wrong time every time. And so she called me yesterday. I was headed out to the movies. And I was telling her I got pulled over. I didn't have nothing on me. I didn't have my license.
What?
I didn't have the insurance. My registration gone.
Oh, my God.
I had the little renewal paper in my fucking visor.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, look, man, I was headed where I was headed. I got the paper here. I just forgot. Today is my birthday. I just slid that in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even give me a citation. He let me get up out of there.
That's nice. You got lucky.
Yeah, I shit. Who you telling? Who you telling? So he let me go. Wasn't no big. And he said it. He said, "Get your registration done, because I wouldn't have knew none of this if you had your registration."
But initially, what did he pull you over for?
My registration. My
the
sticker
little
was,
sticker. Okay.
So he hit me for that, and he was like, I wouldn't have knew you didn't have anything if you had that. It's not that you was doing nothing wrong. Your shit just wasn't ready. So
That's crazy that they even caught that.
well,
them little they gotta really be looking to be able to.
he was right behind me. My vehicle has a additional amount of sound, and I'm one of them people who like I ain't turning this shit down because you the police. Enjoy
they
it.
They can give you a ticket for that too.
Yeah, at night.
At night only?
Well, if you can't, that's when you would be disturbing the peace.
I don't know. I've always thought it was even during the day too.
You could, but you got to be beyond below a certain decibel. But he ain't gonna be able to check that. He gonna drive by and say, "Nah, it's too loud."
Mm-hmm.
I should have had my soundboard.
It gives them a reason just to mess with you, though.
You know what? I'm gonna use my soundboard today. Go ahead. What was But yeah, well, you said something about celebrating, embracing your age.
Well, and just being alive, just being thankful that you're here to even see another birthday.
Now let's just go back to women not embracing their age.
Some people don't. I mean, some women don't. They don't want to. They'll be like, I'm just gonna stay 27 another year, whatever. I'm like, no, I'm whatever. Because if you take care of yourself and you are whatever age you are, you should be able to say, I love myself from where I'm at. You should. I feel like people got to be able to say that you love yourself for where you're at. Period.
But see, I hear women. I'm gonna tell you the funny thing I noticed. When you do when I gotta do a background report, aka Facebook, I go to a woman's page and I look at like when their birthday is or some shit. Facebook's I think defaults hiding women's birthday.
You think so?
I think so. I go to a dude March 31st, 1992 or some goofy shit. Go to a woman May 17th.
Leaves the year off.
And that's it. I'm gonna go to yours right now. I guarantee.
Mine's probably on there. And if it's not, it's only because I try not. I mean, there's some weird people out there that my shit's kind of protected.
Your birthday? Well, I'm on there, so I can look it up.
Oh, right. We're friends on there.
So I'm about to look up to see if
Well, if we're friends, then yes, I want you to know my birthday because I'm all about it. Like, let's go hang out.
I'm talking about the date.
It should be.
No, I mean like the year.
Yeah, 88. Life was great. That's when all good things happen.
This motherfucker turn into Tupac and shit.
23 and 88, those are my favorite numbers.
So it's there
because I love it. I love when I see 88 on anything. I get so excited. I love it. It's a beautiful number.
Man, all right, keep talking. I'm finna go to another person. I know for fucking sure.
I know plenty of women who don't want to. I know guys too, though, that. Okay, so like a while back, I mentioned an older dude I had talked to, and I asked him when his birthday was, and he conveniently left off the year. And so I made a joke about it. I'm like, oh, I like how you left the year off there. And he was so hesitant to tell me the year he was born because he thought it was gonna throw me off in some way or whatever. So it's not just women.
Well, I mean, now was he younger or older?
This is the older dude I told you about.
You know what? I ain't gonna do that to you.
Please don't blow it up. Please don't blow it up. There's certain things we talk about that are not on here.
Oh, good gracious. But yeah, I celebrate my birthday. What else? I ain't doing really too much else. Hey, that Joker movie is fire. I want to say that. Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know if you into comic books or anything like that.
Not necessarily, but I was planning on being Harley Quinn for Halloween this year.
So, I was into comic books, but I'll say the Joker movie for me was the first time. No, I ain't gonna say the first time. It was dope. I
better than Heath.
Yeah. He the best Joker now, but Joaquin Phoenix.
He's so good, anyways. Though he's such a good actor.
Yeah, it's something, but really for me, it's the writing. The fucking, I mean, the movie is a good movie, and it comes a point when I was watching, I was like, I felt like I was reading a comic book, but not in a bad way. Like when you see, as a cinematographer, like you see certain type of framing in the way they was doing shit, and other things that happened, it started to feel more like a serious comic book coming to life. It was dope. I was like, yo, it was dope. I didn't think it was gonna be as good as it was.
I want to see it,
Yeah.
and I'm not. I mean, I'm honestly not surprised because he is a good actor, and I think anybody that wants to take on that role and just that challenge. I mean, after Heath died, I think it left a certain mark on everything to where people really feel like they had to live up to, his role in that movie. So. And
come 15 minutes late though. Them previews long as fuck. I was getting mad, man. I was like, come on, another one. But yeah, once it's going, it's 2 hours long, and you would think that it was gonna be slow, but like from go, it has good pacing where you don't feel like it's slow, and that's why I was like, man, if I sit in here for 2 hours, I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm one of them people. Once I stop. Out of there, but I was up. I
like the action for sure.
What ain't a lot of that. I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay.
But it's enough that once you get to the action, it's a good payoff.
Okay.
Because you're like, yo, okay, we here now. We here. There we go. I wish I should have plugged it in, but I ain't. I'm gonna just do this for here. So you finna I'm gonna be making fun of you through my soundboard. Just gonna tell you that right now.
Okay. I'm prepared now.
Let's see. What about you? What was your week? You was out here giving away wreaths and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy because I enjoy it. I want to make my little extra money off of it, but this is gonna sound so nerdy. But I really enjoy the idea of thinking that other people's homes are gonna have a little touch of like the holiday thanks to me. Is that not ridiculous? I'm spreading the holiday cheer through these wreaths, and people are really loving them, and I love making them. So it's just a way for me to be creative, and I like to just.
That's that mom shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
She was just like, I'm just here. When did you start? You made a wreath while you was pregnant, I'm sure. That's when it started. The
way it actually started was me and some of my girlfriends were just looking for a reason to get together and have maybe a couple of drinks and do something kind of crafty. We're always looking for reasons to get together. Life, it gets so busy and so crazy. Like if we say, okay, we're going to get together for this reason, this purpose, then we do. So there was 2 different groups of girlfriends a couple years ago. I mean, it's been probably at least 3-4 years ago that we all got together. We made these wreaths, and then I was like, man, I really like doing this. So then I started doing it, and it was like my other girlfriends were getting either bored with it or they were having like a hard time finishing them. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do them. And then I just kind of took off from there.
Because they wanted to drink.
They came for the drinks.
They was like, I don't know. She taking this shit way too seriously.
And it did. It became like an obsession. It's a pretty, it's ridiculous. I have tubs and tubs of stuff.
What you selling them for?
Well, I had been only doing them for $15, which is still of a deal because you can't find them anywhere for less than like probably $25-$30 up to like $50. I've seen wreaths for like $50-$60, which is crazy. And so that was part of it too. You want to allow people the opportunity to get something really cute for the holidays at a good price. So, but there's this new style that I've been doing that I'm going to have to charge probably a little bit more for because it takes a little more work. So between $15 and $20-$25, and I do teams. So if you got a favorite sports team or something like that, you can get them custom made. I have people.
You need to get to 25.
You think so? I know.
I think so.
I know.
I tell you what.
I'm almost breaking even is what it's about come down to. I mean, I'll make a little bit of a profit, but
see, that's the thing. People gotta understand. This one, we talked about this one time. Like, it's not the thing that you making. Like, you got people sometimes end up charging based on the store, and it's like, but you're not the store. They manufacturing that bullshit. So for you and most people, it's like you gotta value that shit based on your talent. I think sometimes we get afraid to charge shit because it's like, well, I'm not really this, I'm not really that.
Exactly.
But once you know that somebody will buy it, I think that's when you just start to evaluate that shit as like, yo, okay, they fuck with it. Let me rate this while I can make some money. Because people,
hold on. Well, you said let me what?
Let me rate this while I can make some money.
Sorry, go ahead.
What you think I said?
No, I'm not even gonna go there. Just go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me price this to make some money because most people when they buy from you, they know that you trying to make some money off of something.
Well, and that's the thing is that it's hard to get something up and going when you're doing it as an individual. But I feel like Wichita has become so supportive of really being invested in local business. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to do. I mean, I've noticed a huge change in the last, at least like 4 or 5 years of people who want to buy local. It's a big thing to buy local, support local, anything. I've noticed that. And so people even said, I'd rather buy from you than buy from like this big store. And I'm like, well, I appreciate that.
Well, I don't think that's buying local though.
I'm local. What you mean?
Yeah, I mean it is, but I think sometimes buying local becomes a stigma. It's either a marketing piece or a stigma. It's local, so I shouldn't have to whatever, or it's local, it shouldn't be whatever. I think if you just doing business for yourself, it don't matter where the fuck you at. If you just say, okay, I sell wreaths, I just happen to be in Wichita. Oh, man, I put these bitches online. People need to be buying them instead of going. Buying local is dope when you are going to set up a booth or you're making it at like your gimmick in order to, get in the door of this group. But buying local don't mean shit if someone's willing to buy it from Colorado or Louisiana. If it's dope, it's dope.
So you're saying like if it's just the best deal or the best version of that product, then that's what people are going to go for.
That's what I think that should be the goal that people just do shit on anyway. Like I make these shirts and I'm not saying I never want anyone to buy my shit just because, it's him or it's supporting XYZ. I want you to buy this shit because it's dope. Because if you buy this shit because it's dope, I can make money off of you buying my shit without me being there. And that's the goal. Like I think that's my goal. I want to make money without me having to exactly tell you to go buy it or promote it to you. I'd rather you like be on some fake whatever the fuck and you see this shit like, damn, this shit kind of clean. And you go order this shit because you want this shit.
Right.
Which,
but that's
it ain't easy, but
yeah, no, but what I'm saying is I feel like people around here, especially like once the Wichita flag became this huge thing and you see it on everything, it really kind of sparked that conversation of how can I support local business? And the fact that our downtown area had been so broke down. You go to Oklahoma.
How to support white people.
Well, I don't know. I know some business owners of different races that people are supporting.
Niggas just don't do good business. Don't nobody want to say that.
But you know what's fucked up is it's not so much that they don't that the business ain't done on a good end. It's that the people that come, like I have one friend in particular who is a hairdresser. She's amazing, but she's always posting stuff about like, if you want to support me, don't come looking for the hookup or the discount or whatever. So it's not so much the business owner themselves. It's maybe like the community of like thinking like, damn, we're tight, we're like that, so you should hook me up, right? You come with that mentality of like, give me a discount, well, hook me up. No, if that's your people, you should want to support them at full price. I have another friend she owns her own dog grooming business. People do the same thing. Oh, I've known you forever, so you should hook me up. She's like, shit, how are they ever supposed to make a profit and really grow if people are always coming going, oh, well, I've known you forever, so you should give me a half off or you should do it for free or whatever.
I think that for some reason, this is a conversation that happens predominantly in the black community. But here's the problem. Well, excuse me. She getting me drunk.
Don't start hiccuping now.
But I believe that I had Brandon J. Johnson on the I'm Kind of Famous podcast way early in the day. And I remember we talked about the black neighborhood and making businesses in the black neighborhood. One problem is you can't have brick and mortar or most things in black neighborhoods at the rate that it is in, let's just say, white neighborhoods. So we're going to make this black and white, but you can fill in the blanks how you want to. If these people are already poor or considered poor people or low income people, how are you charging them that big rate for something they already can't afford? Mm-hmm. They can't afford your product. And so you pricing it for the other side who's not interested in your product. And these people need to buy your product. You want a brick and mortar store. Let's say it's groceries, or actually the wig store, a wig store. We'll say that.
Like Mid-K.
If the wig store is black owned and it's priced higher, then because they got to be able to make profit, they got to be able to stay open, they got to be able to afford their inventory. So they're priced in a way where they can take some money home. But then across town, you got another place that's cheaper. Niggas gonna go with cheaper because that's what they can afford. They need their dollar. Damn, here we go. I don't know where I was at. We punched in right now because something happened. So the short of it is to think like that, because it's not all about like, I gotta pay you to do something. Let's be beneficial for each other. So if I go, it's like brand ambassadors, like these girls or people who like, you know, hey, I want to work, whatever. Okay, boom, I'll give you free shit, but I need you to do something with this free shit that's gonna come back to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people are built for that, because you gotta be talented, but you gotta be a dog a little bit. If you're not a dog, if that ain't in you, to like be like, I need this money, or I need to get my face out there, I need to do whatever it is. Whatever, you know, you got to know your own industry when you jump into it. Right. But if that ain't in you and you like making shit, man, you better keep that shit a hobby, because this fucking business shit will eat your ass alive.
Yeah, that's why my shit is more of a hobby, because I don't enjoy the hustle of trying to push a product and trying to get someone to want my stuff over somebody else's. Like, yeah, I know that it's really cute and I have some awesome designs, but I'm not about to be out here like trying to convince people this is where they need to go. I mean, I enjoy it. I like it if you had it hanging on your wall or your door, but I ain't about to chase people down. I tried it there for a while. I was in this stuff called Herbalife. Amazing products, tastes great. I still stand by it, but I've realized like I had to go out, and not only did I have to find people to try the products, but then to get them to buy the products, and then to get them to continue buying the products after they got their first month supply or whatever. I didn't have it in me. I'll be honest. I didn't have it in me, because I'm not about to convince a grown adult who sees the benefit of using something to keep buying it. Like, if you want it and you know that it works, because that shit does work. Let me tell you, and it does taste delicious. Oh my God. I kind of want one of them shakes right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I'm telling you. But I just realized that's not my drive. That's not what I want to do. I want to help people be healthy. I want to help them be their best self. But if it's not in you to do your part, to keep coming back and, you know, and sticking with it, I'm not about to call you all the time and say, did you order your products? Are you on this? Are you doing that? No, because then, you know, it's like, that's too much effort on my part. Can't do it.
All right, we done talking about that shit.
Okay.
Fuck. But wow, see, she drunk. Break. She fucked up. She over here. What you got? You brought a list with you? She didn't bring a list. Nah.
I mean, I got some topics.
What you got? I'm gonna let you go. Don't come in with that heavy shit. Hey,
I can't help it. It bothers me so much. There's so much shit I see in the world. You talk about you watch the news. I don't watch the news, because when I start watching the news, there's so much shit that I see, and it for real, like, it bothers me to the point where I feel like I have to get active in the world and in the life and go out and do things and reach people, because I cannot believe some of the stuff I see going on, and that's an issue. It is ridiculous to me.
What's ridiculous to you right now?
Okay, so you're from Texas. I seen a story where these boys, they were 8 years old.
Before you go to that.
Okay, go. You go. I can't help but have the heavy stuff. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Say, when you brought up something about some profiles.
Oh my God. Okay, listen.
Yeah, do that.
Listen. I just want the men to take a minute.
First of all,
Now,
we're not gonna do that.
No, we are gonna do that because here's the thing. Women, we love taking pictures. We always are taking pictures. Oh my God, let's take a picture. Girl, let's take a picture. Okay. So we know how to hit the angles. We know how to have, now, not all girls, because I've seen some girls posting pictures too that were suspect, but I just want dudes to be aware of the fact of a couple things. If you are on any dating site and you are looking for somebody, whether you are looking for something simple like a hookup or something serious like a relationship, please take note of just a couple things on your profile pictures.
Here we go.
First of all, the angle where you're looking down into the phone makes you look like a serial killer stalker. Please stop doing that. Understand that you are posting pictures for women to look at, not other men. You don't have to look intimidated. You don't have to look like a badass. You are trying to get a woman to want to talk to you. So don't put these pictures that are kind of scary and make me look like I'm afraid that you're even looking at my pictures because I don't know what your intentions are. You have to really think about it. Make sure the background looks good, that the house is clean. If you're going to be in the bathroom, please clean the mirror. Like, let's just keep it together. Because some of these guys...
Why can't they keep it real? They're keeping it real.
Well, if that's what real is, there's a reason why you get the X and not the heart, or the left and not the right, because...
I don't know none of this means.
I don't mind taking care of my man, but I don't want to be nobody's housemaid, okay? Like, if your pictures on your profile page, you can't even take the time to make sure that the background's cleaned up. I don't have time. And then there we go. There's another one. Listen, if you look like you are like you just got done selling drugs or you about to go kick someone's door in, please keep that shit off of there. No one at least maybe it's an age thing. Maybe once you're
Some
over
women
30.
like thugs.
Listen, I've always said an educated thug is where it's at, okay? I want somebody that has enough street and enough edge in them that I can feel safe with them. I can feel protected with them, but they know how to handle themselves in a business meeting. They know how to wear a suit and they can talk.
How many thugs you think just sitting in a business meeting?
That's what I'm saying. Let that shit be your past. Don't let it be who you are now. If you want to continue to be a product of your environment and you're 45 years old, that is the number one turn off.
This justice system been holding the man down.
That definitely has a part in it, but you can't play victim your whole life either.
Well, they were victimized by the justice system of the United States of America.
And institutionalized. I understand all that.
And he all he wanted to do was get normal in a regular picture with his grill out.
There you go, grills. The squatting down like you're still on the yard. No, come on now. You can't have that.
All right, so what you want? What you want him to look like?
Clean it up.
What is cleaning up?
I mean,
they own the look. Think about this. Y'all both own this app.
Okay.
Both of y'all looking for something.
Right.
You gotta step.
So make yourself appealing. Make yourself appealing.
How you know that ain't a shit? The swag on them?
It might be appealing to some. Like I said, maybe it's the fact that I'm over a certain age. Maybe it's because the fact that I'm a mom and I'm not looking for these just like wild times or whatever.
Here we go. This is what the fellas want to know. What are you looking for? What's your type?
Meow.
See? Did all that capping. Don't even know what she want.
That
be the problem. They tell you what they don't want all goddamn day.
No, because
you ask what they want.
I try not to focus on the negative. I know exactly what I want. What I don't want lines up exactly with what I do want. I want a man that knows how to handle himself. You find you a motherfucker that knows how to build some shit.
What does that mean?
Knows how to put some stuff together. Listen, I don't care if he works on cars, if he knows how to build a house, if he can put together a computer. Let him know how to do some stuff. I'm looking for somebody that can teach me some. I want to be able to learn from the dude that I'm with. Somebody that can have like.
There's teach you how to cook crack.
No, that's not the skill. That's not a skill for me.
That's cooking for one.
Right.
Let's show you a man know how to throw down in the kitchen.
But I'm not trying to be led to jail on the way. That short money is not for me. Anybody who's like, yeah, I literally seen a dude. He's like, turn up. They said put 3 words to describe yourself. Turn up is only 2 words. Turn up, and then a bunch of damn question marks. What's all the questions for?
That was the 3rd word.
What is the question about? Do you know or do you not know? I don't understand.
Turn up?
Nah. No. I need somebody with some shit going on in their life.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? How about you name something that's not intangible? Like, you saying somebody know how to put some shit together.
I mean, shit consistency. Dudes want to show out. I mean, it's not just a guy thing.
You can't see that in the picture. What makes you go, I don't know, swipe right or whatever, whichever way you're supposed to swipe.
You know, if they're, like I said, if they're doing something, maybe they got a picture of them out just normal shit. I don't need nobody who's shown me how they party and what, you know, somebody says, I'm after that bag. And it's like, it just makes you look so juvenile. I don't know. It just makes you look so, to me, makes you look so shallow. So
you telling me, what's your age range?
I mean, I don't think anybody under the age of 20
that you looking for. What's your age range? What you?
I've always dated older, so okay. I would like. I mean, you know, someone
50 to what?
Shut up. No, I mean 50 would probably be the cap.
Big cap.
50 and under. Between 30 and 50.
30 and 50. All right. So between 30 and
ideal.
50.
Because I mean, men take a little longer to mature. Let's just be real.
That ain't real at all.
That is 100% real.
That you're not gonna do that. There's no way.
Look,
see, they love to say that we ain't shit. Basically, like y'all dumb.
You're just figuring it out. Time. You're just figuring it out. I mean, you're just figuring it out. That's all it is.
They looking for us, and we the one that's taking a while. Okay, biggest caps, but what? All right, so between 30 and what'd you say, 65? 30 and 65, short or tall. Cause this really about the picture. This ain't about all that shit you talking about building cars and shit.
No. Yes, it is. I love.
Cause I'm not gonna put. I'm a mechanic in my shit.
Yeah, they do. They do.
All right. Well, so I don't know.
But see, the thing is I have 3 sons, so I don't want to just be with some dude that's just like on the couch gaming all day. I want somebody that's gonna be able to take my kids and show them something that they could use with their hands, something they can learn, a skill.
The controller.
Old school shit.
2K.
Do you know how to work the land? Do you know how to provide? Do you know how to provide with something more than the shit on the screens? Anyways, the thing is that I've come to realize is sometimes what looks the best is not the best. Like they say, whatever's all that's glitter ain't, or wait, no, all that's gold ain't glitter, or however the saying goes, whatever.
See? Just be saying shit, and we the one that take a while to mature. She's just coming up with shit on the spot.
You know,
but all glitter that ain't gold.
There you go. So,
because I'm mature.
My point is the tall, muscular, like show of it. Half the time, they're not really what it is about because they know that they can ride off their look. So, and I'm not saying all of them. I know some dudes that look good and actually have things going on as well.
Thank you.
Exactly. Hey, cheers to that. Ching. You got a button for that one?
I ain't got. Hold on. Here you go. There you go.
But I am not, we talked about this on the first show. I think I'm someone who can find something attractive about anybody. So you don't got to be 7 foot tall and be able to bench 500 pounds. I'm looking for somebody who's got more going on. We got to be able to connect mentally. You got to have shit going on. You got to be able to think.
All right, that's cool. But what makes you swipe right? When you look at the profile.
Nice teeth.
Okay.
Maybe some dimples.
Okay,
so I got some weird things that I like. I like a strong jawline. Is that weird? You can't see the back of the neck, but what is it about the back of the neck on these fools? Oh my God. Give me a dude that's got
So hold on.
their hairline together.
How many times do you go to a profile picture and they show the back of their neck?
That's what I'm saying. You can't see that shit. That's what I said. You can't.
Niggas, I can't. This is a visual.
You asked me what I like.
Okay, I'm trying to help the pick. Okay, so from 30 to 65, back of the neck got to be clean. What else you got?
Nice teeth.
Nice teeth, dimples.
I mean, that dimples. That's a
Dimples.
that's just
Dimples
a
a
plus.
deformity for one.
I like it though.
All right. So all right. What else? Black, white,
Oh, I don't discriminate.
Asian. You fuck with Asian dude?
Yeah, I've had a thing for Asians lately. I've never really dated or been with an Asian, but what the hell is it? Like, my God, I seen an Asian dude in the gym and just him stretching. I was like, I felt like I fell in love. And then I was too scared to go talk to him. And then I don't know. I'll never see him anymore. But I'm just saying, there was just, you know what I like about Asians
No.
is it's the whole traditional appeal of like family first. Like you know, once you get to a certain age, it's like all the family puts in to take care of each other. And I really, really dig that. Like having the grandparents, the parents, everybody all in one home, or at least in a couple houses close to the community, like in a neighborhood.
No.
Oh, I
It's
do.
one home.
It is one home.
Yeah. So
A lot of
that's
times,
what
but
you might as well get used to when
But
you
I
find
love
your
that.
Asian.
I love that how it's just that nothing comes before taking care of the family. I don't know why that's so appealing to me. It's just like that's just a strong ass bond, and I love it. I don't know.
But what if the back of his neck is fucked up?
I mean, I know how to use some clippers, so it's all right. We'll get him there. It's okay.
She just got
Plus,
that.
tattoos really get me too, and a lot of that traditional work that they get done, especially like Japanese and just that custom, the koi fish and just the samurai stuff. I love that.
I don't even think I got an Asian listener base.
You don't think so?
Nah. So you ain't nobody gonna shoot they shot then, because you looking for an Asian with a fade. You say you want a tall dude too?
Height helps.
Because you ain't gonna get no Asian. So if that's what you looking for, I don't think it's too many. When they 6 foot, they are deformed.
Okay, so me and you both are, you've been involved with it way longer than I have, and at a higher level with the EFC. And I was actually talking to one of the fighters one time about some of these different things, and yeah,
Like what?
like dating and what
Okay.
women are, what women find appealing and all that stuff. And it's one of those things, at least for me, like you want to feel secure with your man. Like if we're out and about and some stuff pops off, I want to feel like my man can protect me. Or if you're at home even and someone kicks the door in, I don't want to feel like I have to jump and defend us faster than you will. So it doesn't matter about age, it doesn't matter about race, it doesn't matter about height or whatever. I want to know that I'm safe with you, that you got my best interest at heart, and that, to me, it's very simple.
I don't know how many people break into your home
The potential's there for everybody.
and they come in with no weapons. They gonna clobber your little strong boyfriend. Knock the shit out this nigga. As soon as they walk in there, you every time. I want to feel like I can be protected. Hey,
That's
he
what I
can
need
get
to
it
do
too.
with this strap. You know what I mean? That knows how to use a gun, that knows how to protect stuff. Somebody that knows how to do some self-defense, that just has that fire that's not going to cur up and be like, oh shit, the safe's over here. Here's the combination. Don't hurt her too bad.
You know
No.
who gonna shoot first? The street nigga that you put the X on, who been sitting up with the gold teeth and the dirty mirror.
Maybe.
Nah, ain't no maybe. You know what he bout. Bout that action. 3 words to describe myself.
Ooh.
Hey, these jokes
my
don't write
God.
themselves, people. This is what I do. All right. So I was reading a story. Tell you a story.
Let's hear it.
Well, no, this is. I don't even know what I want. I just want to bring it up because I thought it was funny. But this woman, and you might have been this woman.
What?
This woman ended her. She was engaged to get married.
Okay.
3 days before the marriage or the wedding, she caught her husband watching porn, and she canceled the wedding.
Over porn? Was it some sick stuff though?
Well, they didn't say.
Because I mean, there's a difference between like let me watch this or this. You got your little fetishes that you like versus walking in and he's like watching something that you can't unsee.
Well, if it was illegal, then
that's what I mean.
Well, it wasn't illegal.
Well, then who cares? Shit.
She did.
That's fucked up.
But see, I was having this conversation the other day. I really don't think women watch porn like that.
Maybe not like that, but
well, or in general, really. When I say like that, meaning they don't go decide it's time to masturbate and turn on porn.
I mean, maybe not, but I think that it's a security thing. Like if you're super insecure about yourself, and I used to be when I was younger, and I was with my ex-husband. I know I've brought him up on all 3 shows.
Well, okay, because that's the only life you had.
Point of reference, I get it. But when I was like, I didn't want him talking to girls. I didn't want girls smiling. And like, as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh my God, that's so immature to think that whoever you're with is not going to look at other people and go, damn, they're bad. Like, you have to kind of get to a point where just because they think someone else looks good doesn't mean it takes away from how they feel about you. And I think a lot of people get really insecure. I know men. Listen, I was talking to this dude recently. And we were just having general conversations, about, this and that, what you like, what you don't like or whatever. And I said something about like, oh, I've had somebody do this or that and I wasn't cool with it or I didn't like it or something. He's like, oh, well, I'm really kind of insecure about certain things. So if you're going to talk about sex, then you should say like, oh, if me and you do this, he didn't want to hear about me ever being with anybody else. And I'm like, okay, like he literally told me he was that insecure that if I'm going to make a reference to something sexually, and it's something that I've even experienced, that I have to say it like he told me he wanted me to say it like, if you're going to talk about that, you need to say it like, if me and you were to do this, then I would like it or not like it, instead of saying I've done this with someone else and I liked it or didn't like it.
This recent guy said this.
I mean, it's
someone recently. Yeah. Someone after your marriage.
Yes.
Damn, I don't give a fuck. I want you to, okay, that's what he did. I don't really want to know that's what he did, but that's what he did and you liked it. Let me turn it up a little bit because I want to be the reference point for every other dude. So if I get it, but I don't think I could. I'm not gonna tell you how to think. I think that's my thing. I don't want to tell a chick how to think. So man, I'm not gonna try to coach you to how to talk to me. If you talk to me in a way that I don't like, you probably won't be talking to me that long anyway.
Right.
So I'm not worried about it.
Weird to me. I couldn't believe that he was so. He's like, that really makes me upset. Like that you would even say that. Like he didn't get mad at me, but he's like, that just makes me feel really upset and like to hear you talking like that about somebody else. And I'm like, well, I'm not saying obviously I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to them. So I'm not about to go back or nothing. Like, I don't know. I just feel like people have to grow up a little bit and understand that. Unless you're a virgin, then there's going to be, everybody has an ex, everybody has a past. So you have to kind of accept that for what it is and understand, like you said, like, well, whatever you had before that you liked, I want to make it even better. And whatever you had before that you didn't like, I never want to do that again to you or with you or whatever.
This mug said, I'm that girl that spent 6 months with a ring on her finger. That girl that planned an entire wedding only to find out a week prior it was all a lie. What? Over porn.
No, she's doing too much. Don't you want your partner to be able to be like open about what they like and what they don't like? I mean, everybody fantasizes. Just if you don't watch porn. You said women don't watch porn as much as men. But
no. I didn't say that.
That you thought that they did.
I don't really think y'all watch porn like that.
But I'm just saying, like, everybody, I mean, I would think most people fantasize.
Is that the same? Porn and fantasy?
How is it different? I mean, you're making, the only difference is you're making the storyline up in your head about how the porno plays out versus watching a porno that someone else wrote.
Or you watching another naked woman or man?
Okay, and like, I mean, the body's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
I think what it is for a woman is that they look at it like you are fantasizing or you're finding arousal in a whole nother woman that's not me. So they look, they is
Get
watching
jealous?
porn cheating?
No, unless I mean, there are porn sites where you can like, text and talk with the people and tell them like the live chat type of things.
Is that cheating?
I don't know if it's cheating, but it definitely takes it to a whole other level of, it takes it past just fantasy because, then you're actually having interaction with these people. You're directing it. You're involved with it. That's just like, shit. Is an online relationship a real relationship? Because if so, then you could have a dude or a chick that goes online and hits up the same person over and over because you like the way they look, you like the way they talk, you like whatever it is about them, and you're kind of developing like an online relationship. This person is doing certain acts or whatever that you want to see them do, and so if you could consider an online relationship something real, then that live chat porn could be considered cheating, I would think.
No, because I think that if you have an online relationship, it's just that. Well, okay, hold on. Let me think. If you have an online relationship, it can be. Are you saying I'm having an online relationship and there's no possibility of either one of us even considering or thinking we will ever meet?
No, I think most people that have online relationships expect to make contact with that person.
That's the difference. Because if you doing a chat with somebody on a whatever, then you know there's a clear, distinct disconnect between.
Do you though? Because there's some people that, if let's say that you're not in a relationship physically in real life, but you have this online thing, people build it up just like with strippers. People might build it up in their head to think, I want to save you from this lifestyle, from this world. Come on and let me be with you. Let me take you. Let me, I'll provide for you, whatever. And it's the same kind of thing.
Well, he or she decided that they were in a relationship. The other person didn't
exactly.
consent. So if there's no consenting relationship, that don't count.
But if you're okay, so let's say me and you are together and you secretly are going online and you're spending money to see a certain chick over and over and over do these things. She recognizes your name, you know who she is, and y'all are going back and forth on a regular ass basis. You're basically paying her bills. Y'all have some kind of connection and relationship going on, regardless of if she's doing it like, yeah, I'm going to make you feel like you're the only one. But in her mind, she's like, I'm just doing this to get some money. But to you, it starts to become something more. But I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner and you're in the bathroom looking at this shit. Yeah, that's a problem. That's different than just you catching your man jerking off during whatever time of day. Like and it's just some random person that doesn't even know that you're watching them. That's different. That's different.
But okay, it's prostitution.
That's what it made me think of. That's what it made me think of. Because there's that movie. Oh shit, I can't even think of. Oh man. Anyways, there's a movie where this guy's a retired cop, and
it's every fucking movie, but like prostitution.
But he goes and he sees this prostitute, and he tries. That's basically what he tells her: is, "Oh, let me save you. Let me take you out of this life. I'll take care of you. Whatever, whatever." And she's like,
"You talking about that old movie?"
No, it's a newer movie. It's not Harrison Ford. I can't think of the guy's name. He's a very popular actor. The dude from Pretty Woman. Who is that guy?
Well, that Jean. Nope, not Jean. That's a woman. That's a prostitute movie.
I know, and he's in this movie, and he's.
Ask Alexa. Alexa, who is in Pretty Woman? I can't hear. I can't hear.
Alexa's taking a beauty nap right now.
Hey Google. Who's in Pretty Woman?
Richard Gere.
Okay. No. But but I don't. Is prostitution cheating?
Hell yeah! Are you kidding me? Listen,
but no. Okay, hold on. Cause see. Oh, we already defined cheating before, so I don't want to do that again. But
how is it?
It's not a relationship.
I don't give a fuck.
If it's one, no, I'm not talking about prostitute. I'm talking about the deal with the online shit. They're not consenting. It's not a consenting. Oh, we're talking about online relationship. If you think you're gonna meet this person and I'm already with a person, that's cheating on your chick. That's an affair.
I should know the term for this, and I cannot think of it off the top of my head.
Oh, I can't think. Bullshit. That's what it is. That's an easy term to figure out.
No, there is a term for people who make shit up in their own mind to think like, I'm gonna marry, Idris Elba one day.
Delusions of grandeur. No, ain't it?
No. Like you in your mind, you believe that you're gonna like be with this person who's famous, and you have like this whole
catfish.
You ever heard of hatfish?
Nah.
The dude takes his hat off. You be like, I've been hatfish. This motherfucker ain't got no hair.
Yeah, I'm not looking for a dude to put.
Sorry, that's funny to me. That's funny to me.
Well, because you be looking at the back of it don't matter. You looking at the back of the head anyway.
I don't mind a bald head. I like a bald head actually. So, anyway, sorry.
Man.
What I was gonna say earlier though, those kids down in Texas, that shit messed me up. To think about, I think it was 3 8-year-old boys, 8 years old. And they cornered and jumped this other 8-year-old boy in the bathroom, took his stuff. They beat him unconscious. They weren't charged because in Texas, they don't charge kids with those type of violent offenses under the age of 10. Now, the thing that really messed me up was the amount of violence used at 8 years old. My son is going to be 7 in a couple of months. So to think about kids that close in his age, I cried. I cried when I read it because it's disgusting to me. And it just took me back down to like the breakdown of the family unit, right? And if people are, and you can't always blame it because I know some amazing parents and their kids still end up messed up out here with the wrong crowds or whatever. But I feel like with so many single parent homes and kids learning so much from social media and whatever else, there's just so many morals and values that have been lost. That is insane to me. Like, and the thing that's crazy is,
well, you gotta tell what happened.
Okay, I'm sorry. So they cornered this boy in the bathroom. They beat him up. They took him stuff, and even after he was unconscious, they continued to beat him. The boy is, I guess you could say, okay, but he does have some brain trauma behind it. Now, the boys that jumped him didn't get charged with anything because they were under the age of 10. And the other thing that kind of pissed me off was the other parents in the school weren't notified about anything. And if I have a child in this school and something so violent happens like that, and you don't make a point to let the other parents know, like, look, this is what happened. Here's how you need to, like, people are not proactive. We are so bad about, let's talk about something after the fact instead of preventing. That's the biggest thing that I do in my work is like prevention. I would rather get to somebody, inform them of some stuff before something happens instead of trying to do intervention after something has already happened. Because at that point, the damage has already been done. But that's also why I enjoy working with kids and teenagers so much, is because there's more room there to kind of, work on some of those different ideas that have been formed. But, it just bothered me because to think about 8-year-old kids being so violent like that, and it made me wonder if we talked about last time, I think all those gang, I think they were gang related up in Michigan, those like where they were just like jumping random people.
Oh, you talked about it. I didn't.
Okay, so it just made me wonder, like, do the kids hear bits and pieces of this on the news and they think, oh, I'm gonna do this too? Or like, where does that come from? How does that happen where they decide they're gonna go and try to go get this kid for what he has?
Well, I think
at 8 years old, that's insane. I mean, that is insane.
It says, I ain't gonna say the kid name, but was beaten so severely he was rushed to the hospital. Doctors said he suffered minor brain bleeding. They pinned my brother down. They were beating him. They beat him to the point of unconsciousness, where they continued to beat him. He was released. Trying to figure out why they did it.
They wanted his stuff. They took his stuff. That was it. It was not. They did not have previous issues with this kid. They wanted his stuff. That was it. That's at least that's what I read when I was reading it. Is they beat him up to take his bags. He had no previous issues with these kids. Nothing. Now you're a father. So imagine you hear brain bleed. I don't give a damn if it's minor or major. These kids just inflicted that kind of damage to my child to make his brain bleed. We don't know what the effects are going to be down the road. Like, you don't know how that's going to end up playing out throughout his development and growth. You don't know. And the fact that it was just so pointless and so violent, maybe it just hit home for me because I just had a friend recently who, you know, lost his life to someone beating him up. Maybe that just struck me a little bit differently, but it just seems so senseless. It seems so, to have such little concern for another human life.
What do you think should happen to those kids?
I mean, I would think some kind of investigation needs to be done to try to figure out like what's going on in those kids' homes. It's very hard to blame an 8-year-old kid for something like that if you don't know the full background of what's going on within the home and the family. And you can't always blame the parents. I literally know people who have amazing families, and the people that are close to my age, they still end up tricking their life off. So you can't always say, oh, it's bad parenting, it starts in the home. I mean, a lot of times, yeah, but that's not 100% the case all the time.
Well, they are doing that. CPS is looking into the family, but
so those kids need anger management. They need some kind of, I mean, they can't just go, oh, well, you're 8 years old. Listen, you can't say you're 8 years old. You can't be held accountable for this when you were 8 years old and you could come up with the idea to beat the shit out of this kid and take his stuff.
Well, I would argue, and as devil's advocate, but I would argue that them beating him that badly shows that they don't know what they're doing.
But I know grown adults that have beat people that badly, and you know what I mean? So
but that's adults. We're talking about 8-year-olds.
Right, but I'm just saying the violence, the nature, is it something that is normal for your life in your household? Or is it something where, like I said, maybe those kids heard the same stories I heard about these boys in Michigan that are going around doing these random beatings of people, and that's all they heard, and they just took what they heard and kind of applied it to their little 8-year-old mind, and so they did the same thing.
What if they didn't?
And if they didn't, then that's when some
because what I'm looking at, what I'm thinking is more so that they didn't beat him. One person beat them and everyone else jumped in following the one person. So it's probably one person that caused this and everyone else jumped in because they was probably afraid of that one person.
It could be. I mean, you know, there's experiments that have happened over time where it's just crazy how much people are afraid to kind of stand up. Even when they know something's wrong, they're afraid to stand up for it and be like the one person who goes against the crowd. And maybe that's why I'm such a brat and like so hard-headed, is because I would rather be like put outside of a group for being right than be accepted into a group for something that I know is wrong. So like there was an experiment they did and they had like 2 lines. It was like line A and line B. Clearly line B was taller than line A, but everybody in the group was part of the experiment except for like one person. And everybody in the group would say, oh, line A is taller. And the person who the experiment was being done on is like looking around going, what the hell? Line B is clearly taller. But everybody else, person after person, said line A is taller, line A is taller. So when it got to the person who the experiment was actually being done on, they didn't want to go against the group. So they would agree and say, yeah, line A is taller, even though they knew that wasn't the truth. So sometimes, I mean, a lot of times people just don't want to be the outsider. They don't want to be the one who's afraid to go along with what the rest of the group is saying or doing or whatever.
That's a good old Stanford experiment. But yeah, and that's what I would say is having like, it's where you were saying we react to it. It's almost a reaction to feel like things need to happen to these kids. But I think it's a matter of figuring out what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much I ever will just believe what the kid's response was, so that's why you have CPS and all that. But once you figure that out, yeah, they beat the kid terribly. It happened. I mean, there's nothing that's going to reverse that. But I don't know how much I would go, they saw this story and decided to echo it. They wanted, I guess, whatever was in this kid's backpack, but I think it was just the one asshole kid who maybe have great parents, maybe have terrible parents. Well, let me ask this. You're old enough. Did you get whooped in school?
Did I get whooped in
Did
school?
y'all have corporal punishment in school?
When I can literally remember being when I was in kindergarten, my oldest brother was in 5th grade, and then there was one other brother in between us. And I remember we had this principal, Mr. What was his name?
I already know. It don't matter what his name is. He was whooping y'all ass because
He didn't ever whip my ass. I was always good in school. There were rumors that he whooped kids' asses. And then I remember Miss
whooping ass.
There was another 5th grade teacher that I knew. She had a ruler that she didn't hit the kids, but she'd smack it on the desk and stuff. But no. But I mean, even to this day, down south, there's schools where they whoop ass.
And you don't have these problems. Miss Redmond used to wear us out. Mr. Logan, Mr. Washington. If you got, before school, if you ain't had a homework, meet me outside. You stand outside. I remember Edric McQueen. I think he listened to the podcast. You know it's true. So I'm going to tell the story. Edric would never bring this fucking homework. For some reason, he wouldn't do it. And Mr. Washington didn't play that shit. So he come in. You come in, he know he ain't got his homework. I remember this one time he put tissue in his back pocket because he knew that paddling was coming. He was out there and he caught that swat. Pow! And then Miss Logan said, "What's wrong? Hold on, this ain't right." Went in his pocket, "What's this?" Pulled them motherfucking tissues out and he said, "You're getting 2 more for that." Pow, pow. We had that shit, and for some reason, to me, I feel like that made me stay in line because the teachers knew if you act up, because you had some teachers who just wouldn't do that shit. You're going to go over to Mr. Washington, you're going to go to the dean, Mr. Logan, and you was going to get them paddlings.
But my only issue with that is the kid, if he knows that shit's coming and he's taking the measures to try to stuff his pockets, was it that little baby Edric didn't know how to
Edric was no baby.
He's a little baby. How old was he?
I mean, this is elementary.
He's a baby.
5th grade.
Okay, that's a baby.
Right.
So
he was old enough to not do his homework. Did he know how to do
the work though? That's my issue.
This was fucking out. I feel, what were we doing? This was advanced math. Nah, this ain't no struggle.
Then what would be the point of him not doing the work? If he knew the ass whooping was coming, why would he not do the work? That makes me feel like maybe he was having some issues in school and he was having some issues with learning. Now we're gonna beat him because he doesn't know how or he needs some extra help.
Nah, we gotta get you right. It's fucked up. It's crazy how fucked up. It does sound fucked up. I will admit this, but at the same time, like, see, you went to the teacher, you went to the learning experience, but you didn't go home. You didn't say nothing about his home. Now, when they was kicking some kid's ass, you went home. But Edric not doing his homework, your parents know you got homework. Why you didn't do your homework? Why we ain't blame the parent? Well, the parent not gonna do the job. The kid with us for 8 hours. When you go home, the kid is at home. When you're in school, essentially these teachers, this is why I'm a big advocate for teachers, is because them teachers spend way more time with these kids than the parents do. Some of it is just because of the situation. Some of it is because they in school for fucking 8 hours. And when you go home, you go eat and you go to bed. So the bulk of your time with your parents, Monday through Friday, is less than the time you with them teachers.
Very true.
If your parent not making sure you do your homework, we gonna figure out a way to get you this homework done. You either gonna get these paddlings and then sit over there and do your homework and catch up, or you're going to do the homework and join the rest of us.
But see, the reason why I didn't go to home first is because...
You're drunk?
No, it's because it's happening in school. Like, if the school is the one providing the discipline, do they ever start to take the time and say, hey, are you really struggling with this? And that's why you're not doing it? Is there something going on at home? And that's why you don't get the homework done? Or you don't care, so you're just not doing it? There's a big difference between when I go home, my home environment is so chaotic that I can't even take the time to do my homework because I'm trying to avoid getting my ass beat by my alcoholic whoever, or drug addicted whoever or angry whoever that or you know just taking care of my younger siblings because my single parent is providing for everybody. I mean, there's all these different things that play into it. There's just a big difference between that and just saying I didn't do it because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it is, but the other part of that is you see what you got at home. Now, granted, the kid ain't measuring this all at that time, but you see what you got going at home. Somebody gonna make sure you get your lesson, and it's gonna be the teacher. I'm your second father now, so we gonna get it figured out. Because here's the other thing: if your parent don't give a fuck at home, they probably not disciplining you at home. So we gonna figure out some discipline, and we gonna make sure you get this work done. We're gonna make sure you pay attention in this class, and you're gonna go to the next class, and you're gonna pay attention in there. Are you coming back over here? And I'm gonna take care of you. So at the
only way that can
time,
happen is through an ass whooping. I mean, I know pain is a huge reinforcer, but it's like,
is it? I mean,
hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just saying, if a kid is getting his ass whooped at home, and then he goes to school, which is supposed to be like maybe the only space that is a safe place, and he's getting his ass whooped at school too, that kid's going to end up being like, I don't give a fuck about nothing because everybody's just trying to beat this shit into me instead of taking the time to say, hey, what is really going on with this kid?
Well, it's kind of slippery slope, but I understand a person feeling that way because it seems extreme, but I can say I feel like you don't have that today, and you have kids jumping a kid that's 8 years old.
The other kids were 8 too. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you got that. I mean, you got so many different, that story repeated tenfold all over the place, more consistent than probably then. Because, okay, you whooped this. I can imagine how this would have went when I was a kid, because we would fight at school too. Fight at school, boom, Mr. White, because he was the disciplinary. So you got Mr. Washington, he's just a math teacher, but he gonna get you. Mr. Logan, he gonna get you. That's the dean. Like, y'all gonna fight, y'all gonna have this fight. We gonna tell your parent. One, we gonna take care of it because your parents signed off saying we could take care of it. I didn't know they did that to make my parent an asshole, kind of. But parents said it's cool for us to do it. Then I'm gonna tell your parent might get after you. But if your parent don't get after you, we gonna let you know this ain't the place for that shit. You come to school to learn. And grant, it sound like shit to do corporal punishment, but in ways it worked. Now, fast forward today, I get it. We don't know what. Now that I'm grown and I have had sex with some teachers, and I realized that teachers ain't nothing but 20, 25-year-old females who look, you know what I mean? Like, they just regular people. Yeah, you might not want that regular person swinging a paddle.
Not on my child, no, sir.
But if she was like, but all my teachers was like 50, 60 something.
Right.
Old. So it was old women and men. I don't know. I'm not anti-corporal punishment, but I get why someone wouldn't want to do it today. Because everyone, like you just said, not my kid. And it's weird because, all right, you'll say that.
But see, I'm an involved parent, though. I'm going to make sure that my child's doing
my mom was involved. But
Did you ever get whipped by Mr. Washington, Mr. Logan?
You better believe I did. You better believe I did. As they say, I didn't believe fat meat was greasy. So I caught a few, which was whatever. But see, I find it interesting that, like, you say that, and maybe it's because where you're from. I'm from the South, so
it still goes on there today. That's what's crazy.
All right, but this one, my homie, we talked about it before, and I said, now, you know that shit worked for us, but you go, nah, can't nobody touch my kid. And it's weird. It's a weird place we're in where we go from this to can't nobody touch my kid, but we also believe, we'll say, it's the community, it's the family, it's the village. And that's what the village did. My friend's mom could whoop me, but your friend's mom can't whoop your kid.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird that like we want the village community thing, but we also want the village community not to fuck with our
Well, I think we've come to a point where we understand that whooping ass is not the only way to get a message across. I mean, I understand you got.
Are the messages getting across today?
It depends. I mean, I'm not saying you go sit in timeout, Tommy, and everything's gonna be okay. And he's like, fuck you, Mom. I don't give a fuck. You know, like there's okay.
Do you think it's more than that, more of that today than when you was a kid?
With the kids acting crazy and talking back and all that.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, there's parents that get in trouble for that kind of shit too. And so this is my thing. Is what I've come to realize is you take a kid like my son Kai. Okay, my 5-year-old. If you whooped his ass for everything he needs his ass whooped for, you would do nothing all day long but whoop his ass. So you have to be more creative than that because the ass whooping, he's too tough. You can whoop his ass and he might be like, and cry for a minute, but then he's got that. I don't give a fuck about him. He's ready to fight anybody at any time. He is about his shit. So if you whoop him all the time, that shit doesn't go as deep as, okay, if I say, hey, I really need some help with this. And I praise him for being a good helper and for being so responsible and for being a big brother. Man, he can't wait. Before I left the house tonight, he's like, oh, Mom, I'm going to be your helper. And he's picking up all the, the dirty clothes. They like to just strip down to their boxers when they get home and just shits everywhere. And he's like, I'm going to help you out, Mom. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And the more I praised him for his good behavior, the better behaved he was. Versus me saying, you're this, you're that, you do this, you do that, and whooping his ass for everything. I mean, then that just teaches him either way. All kids want is attention. And if they know that they can get you to get a rise out of you and to get a reaction is by having negative attention, they don't give a fuck. They'll take that ass whooping because at least you're paying attention to them. So it's much more effective to have positive praise and to point out their good qualities because that feels better. It feels more like you're accomplishing something when you're doing something right and someone recognizes it instead of being a shithead. Anybody can be a fucking shithead. And it might be fun even on some level, but it's not going to take you as far as somebody who can get that positive attention.
So the question would then be, how did it get there? Meaning, if my kid is to a point where whoopings do nothing,
mm-hmm.
How did I get to a point where I'm having to whoop to a point that it does nothing? Well, like why aren't what start? Because you gave examples of positive reinforcement basically. So I give them. Were you not giving positive reinforcements in the beginning? Were you doing something different?
I think as a parent, you try different things. You would like to be able to say, I can look at my kid and give him that look and say, oh, you better not. And
did you read those parenting books and shit?
Well, I mean, I specialize in play therapy, so I understand what it takes to get a kid's attention and to feed those behaviors that you're looking for.
Because there's an author, one of my favorite authors, Simon Sinek, made a mention about millennials and millennials being a result of bad parenting. I'm sorry, not bad parenting, bad parenting concepts, meaning the everybody gets a trophy ideology and things like that, was a reason for this kind of entitlement that people have of a certain generation. Mm-hmm. And so now you have things swung so much one way that you try, like you said, you try so many things versus probably your parent. I don't know. I'm just going to throw this out there, but your parent who was like, my book was what my mom told me. Mm-hmm. And that's what we doing. What she told me, and so you come out a certain way. But now, because corporal discipline or physical discipline is so frowned upon, it's like, let's try these different things. And now you have the parent the parent that was molded through bad parenting concepts, trying to learn and teach and be a parent with no concepts other than, all right, let me try something different. Let me try something different.
Right. And it seems like the pendulum has swung so much one way or the other, right? It's like you either whoop your kid's ass.
Whoop your kids.
Either whoop your kid's ass or you're so far on the other side of it that you don't agree with it, that your kids get away with. I see kids say some shit to their parents and I want to whoop their ass. And I'm like, how do you allow your child? I'm very old school with certain things. I mean, my dad's classic sayings, you do what I tell you to do when I tell you to do it all the time growing up, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense and I understand it. But, here's the thing. You want your kids to be, at least I want my kids to feel comfortable and confident to express themselves, but to be respectful enough to understand that when mom says something, there is no backtalk. There is no, oh, but, or, you know, all that sucking their teeth and all this stuff. Like, no, you're going to do what I told you to do because I am your parent, and we can talk about I want to have that open door where we can talk about things. But in that moment, I told you what I wanted you to do, and I need you to do it now. So
don't express yourself to me.
You know what though? And I with my son Kai, like I said, he's the one that gives me so much trouble, but he's so much like me. He's so headstrong. And the thing is though, is I know one day that shit will serve him. He will be a boss one day. He ain't gonna work for nobody. He's gonna be the boss. And so as a man, that will serve him. Right now, as a child, it frustrates me because, and here's the thing too, are you whipping your child out of frustration? Or are you whipping your child because you as an adult have no other resources basically to be able to say, this is how I have to function with this kid?
You know what I do? Done. And I never had it with my kids, especially my daughter. I don't think I ever. Well, yeah, I have. But I said to myself, I would never yell at my kid while I whoop him, and I would never whoop him and yell at him, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. If I'm yelling, that's what I'm doing. If I'm whooping, I'm not yelling because it's too much chaos, and that's all it's ever been. So when I raise the voice, that's it. Mm-hmm. If I don't raise my voice, they know what time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, my kid, my son is a boy, so I don't get too caught up into a lot of him being bad. It's more like you're just frustrated with how he's acting, but he's not doing anything bad. And it's like schools is different now. Like I don't know what I don't understand any of this. So
they go to school and they call their teacher by the first name. Not my kid's school. But one of my nieces was telling me like they just call them by their first name.
It's because of their parents.
Like, what the hell?
The parents fucked everything up.
No, you need to call them Miss, Ma'am, something. I don't care.
It's the parents.
You are not.
As an advocate for the teachers, it's the parents because again, you have to me, and maybe again that age thing with teachers, but I think you have to empower the teachers to be second families, second whatever, because they are with your kid more than anybody else. If they not empowered, they just gonna like, all right, your kid is bad, I'm gonna let you deal with your kid. I ain't finna get in no trouble because I said something or did something to your child, which is unfortunate because you're not, I think in ways you're not getting the best out of that teacher because he or she can't handle a classroom, because I can't tell you. All I can do is tell your kid go sit outside or do something, and then you're going to get mad and come up here woofing at me saying, why my kid ain't in class? It's your job to do this and that. And as soon as I say something crazy to your kid, why you talking to my kid like this? So you're not, it got to be this. The teachers to me is a part of the village.
Absolutely. My mom's a teacher. Neighbor. She's been a teacher for over 25 years. And
well,
and she's in, it's crazy how many kids have gone through her hands to and are now adults. So I get it, but the thing is that we've come to learn is everybody comes from different backgrounds, and so I don't know if I trust your judgment. Like even as friends, you might have a friend and y'all are hanging out and they might go off on their kid about something, or they might whoop their kid's ass about something. I'm like, well, hold on, I don't know if I'd exactly do that about it, and that's where it gets sticky because I don't know if I trust your judgment for exactly. Like I said with my son Kai, if I allow the teachers to whoop his ass, he'd probably be getting his ass whipped all day long.
Or the right person comes around to let them know a different method, a different way. Maybe your way don't work.
It's working. They're working. It's working.
See, that's what I'm saying.
You are not going to inflict pain on my child.
Hey, I hear you, but why did it work on you?
I never got my ass whipped.
I mean, but like, why did it work then?
Did it work though?
I think it did.
Because a lot of people from that era are, I mean, you can't say everybody, but I'm just saying there's a lot of addiction. There's a lot of different things that go on. I mean, I'm all about people being held accountable and having consequences for their actions, 100%. do those consequences always have to be physical?
I'm just saying, if you go if you were to take one group versus another group, right? 100%. But that's the question: is did it work?
I don't know if it worked because there's shit's different.
I think you. Okay, that is true. That is
social media and all these, and I know I bring up social media a lot, but it's like at the time when okay, because like for my dad example, if he got in trouble at school, the teacher whips his ass. On his way home, the neighbor finds out about it, they whoop his ass, and then he gets home and the parents gonna whoop his ass. The whole way of living, the just the social dynamic was different.
But
than what people are experiencing now. And that's what brings me back to the breakdown of the family. Because back in the day, couples might have stayed together for some dysfunctional ass reasons, but at least it was a 2-parent home.
Hold on. All right.
Nowadays,
so you don't get to play both sides though. Because in one side you go, the structure before was where it was at.
I mean, it provided two people in the home.
All right.
Because you know who the number one people are to abuse kids actually are, at least the last time I checked, was uneducated women. Because don't laugh about this shit. I know you're trying to make it seem like it's a woman's problem, but I'm just saying, statistics shows if you were uneducated and you are a woman, and if you think about it though,
a lot of women was uneducated back then.
Okay, but that even then, it's different. If you were uneducated back then, when our parents were growing up, you could still make a different type of income for yourself because there were different jobs available. Now everybody's all, equality, and I can do this and everything. So everybody's functioning at a higher level to where you need more skills, you need more resources to be able to provide better. And that's not in all cases, because I still know plenty of women who maybe function at those same cleaning businesses or cleaning houses or whatever, and you would think of it like just domestic type shit.
But you would think today, then, based on all that, today you would need to buckle down more then. But we're treating things more freely. You would think today, I would think today at least, that okay, you got all these places and things of resources, whatever. All right, if I act up on social media, I would want, theoretically speaking, I would want a teacher to address it, a neighbor to address it, a friend to address it, and my mom to address it. Because
it's a lot of input.
That lets you know that I can't just be out here because there's way too many people watching. Mm-hmm. That is almost to me equal to if you got in trouble in school, this person knew, that person knew, that person. That was the original social media. Boy, I'm good. But in that place we go, this was great. In this place we go, that's bad.
So can everybody disagree that nobody knows what the hell they're doing when it really comes down to, it really comes down to it, and that's what I said earlier, is everybody, at that time, people were all on board for everybody in the neighborhood and the school and everybody whooping kids' ass. Then it goes to the extreme opposite. And I feel like we do that a lot in this country where it's like, we're going to try this thing. And then if that don't work, we're going to jump completely to the other side of things.
Which version of not knowing what they was doing works best?
I don't know. We don't know yet. It's playing out in front of us.
I think we do.
I feel like kids having a lack of fear of their parents and authority in general clearly has shown that it's more dangerous, because I don't remember when our parents were growing up these kinds of mass shootings and the violence and all this shit, because they knew, damn, if I do this, so-and-so is going to whip my ass, they're going to whip my ass, they're going to whip my ass. There was that fear of like the repercussions that came after it. And it gets to a point where if your kids grew up thinking like, I don't give a fuck about anybody and I'm not concerned with people's feelings, then who knows where that could lead?
Because guns and everything was around. All the same shit was around then.
There was so many less laws about guns then. Everybody had access to them, I felt like.
Well, speaking of danger, Botham Jean, Dallas, Texas. We're in Texas, Dallas, Texas. Amber Guyger shot him. I think I talked about it before, but she was the neighbor. She went to the wrong home.
Yeah, okay.
She went to the wrong home and shot Botham Jean because she thought he was an intruder.
Terrible.
It's a lot to unpack there that I am not, because you can look it up. I have only one thing I wish to address because people ask me was I gonna talk about it. But I'm gonna let you get off before I get into my shit. But anyway, basically, she was found guilty. They went to trial. It was in trial for roughly a week. Had a great. I'm gonna say this. Dallas does it again. We always take care of this shit properly. Y'all can say what y'all want about all these cop shootings and things like this, but Dallas, when we do it, we handle that shit good. So shout out to the hometown, Triple D. Stand up. That's what we do. Had a great judge. I think the judge was great. So Amber Guyger was facing two charges, basically full-on murder and manslaughter. She got convicted of murder, which I thought was excessive. I thought that was a manslaughter case at best, but murder, I'm okay with it. I mean,
like, why would you pick manslaughter over murder?
Because it wasn't murder.
She went. That was her mistake to go into the wrong home.
That ain't what murder. That's manslaughter.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, that man.
Murder
lost
has
his
to
life.
But we believe in the court system. We let the shit play out. You have to be charged accordingly. Murder indicates that you set up to kill this person. I mean, yeah, it was premeditated. That is a premeditated situation. It wasn't. It was an accident. She didn't intend to.
Shit is so unfortunate.
She said from the get-go. Now, here's what sold it to me as a manslaughter case when I was watching the trial, because they streamed the trial live, is that she shot him trying to pick up some dick. I mean, we're just going to keep it a buck. She was having an affair with someone on the law enforcement, basically, and she was setting up to go meet up with him to get some situation going, and she ended up going to the wrong apartment. Now,
so hold on. Let me just stop you for just a second. So she goes in this apartment, and then what? Sees this guy's in there, and she thought that he had broke in.
Yeah.
And did she announce herself as like who she is? Or
are you gonna go into your house and announce yourself, and you feel like someone broke in?
No, I'm saying.
Hey, it's me, Brittany.
No. I'm saying, like, she went into someone else's home, sees this man, and just shoots him. No question, no conversation.
So there is I mean, we don't know. We wasn't in there, but so there is. There was testimony about that. It was basically, I forget what he called it, but a blindness. So basically, you are cognitively, you're not really there because you're focused on something else. So she was texting, and when she got into her place, her focus was on something else. So, because basically this was they didn't allow this. They allowed the science, but not to associate it directly to her. To basically say that you're in this situation, you had reasonable fear because this is muscle memory for you. Like I said, you go into your house, you got all the shit that you come in and you drop it, and you see someone in your home, you're gonna be frightened.
Right.
Now, she being a police officer, she has also access to weapons. Like, her instinct is a little different from yours.
Right.
So that instinct would have led her to take action. Now, this is where I understand that and I get that. And I think sometimes with trial, we get so into the weeds of being specific, of trying to needle through everything. But I think that makes sense. My problem is that it's not reasonable in the sense that me and you don't have a gun. Her access to having a gun allowed her the ability to shoot someone. So yes, you have this little focus thing that does happen, but your reaction and her reaction and the normal person reaction isn't the same. Because she is a police officer, she also should have the ability to say, stop. Whatever. There's a different reaction that's supposed to, because part of being a police officer is your ability to have
what if you just have that
and
concealed carry
de-escalation.
and you just are used to carrying a weapon all the time too? Like, I know people who just always got a strap on them.
Yeah, but they not ready to shoot. Like,
how you know?
Huh? Because they not. This is just goofy. They always like, what if something happened? I carry for my safety. We are not conditioned to kill people. Like, we're not conditioned to protect ourselves like that.
Are you sure?
No. Yeah, for sure. Cause
I mean, it seems pretty like.
That's why fights don't just pop off. Fights build up. So if you was gonna shoot someone, you build up to shooting someone. You don't instinctively shoot someone. Those who do, different kind of person. That's a whole different kind of person. But you build up to that because you never thought. I always say I think I could rob a Brinks truck because that motherfucker in there with the shotgun don't think today is the day somebody gonna try that shit. Mm-hmm. So in her case, she had the access, but she could have de-escalated and she didn't. That's why I go, the science works, but it for her, she could have stopped it because she's a cop. She's supposed to be able to stop this. So after she shot him, she texts Bay back and said, I fucked up. And at that point, it's manslaughter because she clearly is showing that she didn't intend to kill this man. It happened. And she said that all along. You know, it's Black America that kind of does get up in arms and say, she knew that man and he was the neighbor, all this other shit. But
so it was her own apartment she was going in?
She thought she was going in.
How the hell you mistake your own apartment? You was that excited about the situation?
So check this out. You've been here before and you went to the wrong room.
Yeah, I did.
I live here and I've been to the wrong door. I think sometimes, and that's why I say the science to me works. We want it to be so like, how could you do that? But we make mistakes every day. And yeah, if you
and yeah, that's the conversation led up to like, okay, she sees somebody and she goes, what the fuck? Like, I not knowing since it's her word versus what happened in the situation, because someone could bust in here right now and the way you tell the story, the way I tell the story is going to be different. It's all about perspective. Yep. So the fact that it's just her word to rely on and she's going to try to make herself look as innocent as possible. It's really hard to understand, like, what was the conversation leading up to her actually shooting him? Did she just pull the gun out, see him, and shoot him? Or did he have a chance to really explain?
Now, that's where I am there too. I mean, I do sit in this place where like there's enough time for something to happen inside, but none of that matters because.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just thinking about you walk into this apartment. Now, like you said, yeah, I've been here. And I've gone to the wrong floor and I'm like, oh shit, I was knocking on your neighbor's door or whatever. But once you're inside the apartment, don't you look around and go, shit, this don't look like my shit. This don't look like my house. I don't fucking live here.
Not when the first thing you see is somebody that ain't supposed to be there.
No, I'm a notice like, hold on, this is not my decor. This is not
your woman. You told us first time that you gotta be vigilant.
But I'm very hypersensitive to that stuff. So like if I walk in now and I see your paintings hanging up everywhere, I'm gonna go, oh shit. This is not where I belong. You're going to look around. You're going to see, like, even if I'm focused on the person in front of me, something's going to be off. I'm going to look around and go, oh my God, well, he seems very comfortable here.
Well, I know the light wasn't on. I think that was the thing too. The lights wasn't on. But but see, these apartments are all laid out the same.
I know, cookie cutter style.
So that's why I go, for me, everything inside doesn't matter because I can't prove none of that. I'm just taking your word for it. But for me, I go, yeah, she came out and she texts Bay back like, yeah, I fucked up. And I think that line was enough for me to go, okay. Because we know before what she was texting and they know after what she was texting. And another thing, the bitch was pump faking. She was acting like she was coming through and she really wasn't. Because one of the things, before she shot the motherfucker, she was like, I'm on my way. And she was really just getting home. So she really wasn't even trying to show up. She guilty for that.
That's on a whole other level, though. That's between her and him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. These type of lies that women tell should be I don't know the word, not unnecessary.
Don't say women tell, because we know it's a two-way street. Man. Come on now.
Anyway, so she killed him. She was found guilty of murder, which I thought was extreme. But one thing about the judge, she allowed every piece of opportunity for them to find her not guilty. So basically, when it's all on the table, when everything is on the table, you can't say it wasn't available for them to charge her. If they charge her guilty, you don't really have a lot of room for appeal because the jury had every possibility at stake. And they found guilty of murder. Then she got sentenced. And that's what made people mad.
Because she only got 10 years?
I predicted 10 years, personally, for manslaughter. I just didn't think you would give him 10 years if you charged her for murder. Because in Texas, you can the defendant can either have the judge or the jury decide the length of their sentence. So she went with the jury, which was smart because that black lady wasn't fucking with her. And they gave her 10 years. So the jury gave her a murder charge and gave her 10 years, which they could have gave her manslaughter and gave her 10 to 15. So I don't know how that came together. Now with that, what do you think about this case?
I don't like the justice system. I feel like from case to case and all this stuff, like I get it. You have to take all these different things into account, but there's so many times that people just seem to get off on lighter sentences and stuff. And some of the comments I was reading was just talking about, okay, you get sentenced with 10 years. If you get good time, how many of those years are you really going to do? And it just kind of puts value on a person's life. Like if you say, okay, 10 years, shit, you just killed an innocent man for walking into his fucking home. Could you imagine as the family, like, you want to talk to me about forgiveness? You want to talk to me about sentencing, all this stuff? You killed a man and you came into his home. He was doing nothing wrong. You shoot and kill him, and I'm supposed to be able to say 10 years is enough?
What if she ran into his home in her car and killed him? How much time?
The same amount of time she should get for accidentally shooting somebody for her walking into the wrong house.
Well, she got 10 years, so 10 years?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like when
it's
I would feel one way if this was like, the Trayvon Martin or something like that, when it was like some real police craziness. Versus,
and I get it. She made a huge mistake. She was distracted. I understand.
But if jail is supposed to be rehabilitation, supposed to be, if that's what it's supposed to be, shouldn't you be sentenced according to what we are? I mean, deeming what's the appropriate amount of punishment for you to be rehabilitated and back?
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't that be the case if you do something? Now, granted, it was murder one. I mean, a murder is typically a life sentence, but this is really a manslaughter.
And I know the family was split. There was family members who were like, they need to place that anger somewhere, so they want to see the worst punishment possible for this woman. But then the one brother who, hugged her, and I mean, it's so tough because
I'm gonna talk about that, but just in terms of sentencing, because I've always said, really, jail is what is the appropriate amount of revenge we want for the crime.
Is it though? For you, maybe. I don't know. I feel like it depends on the crime. I feel like it depends on the severity of it. Like,
I'm just saying, it's just a revenge thing. It's not really about rehabilitation. It's about revenge, more than anything. Now, granted, there's drug stuff. I'm gonna say non-violent crime. I'm just talking about violent crimes. If violent crimes is about revenge or rehabilitation, I mean, there's certain like your kid could do something or a person could do something, and once they get in trouble, they never gonna do that again.
Well, when you said violent crimes, like I don't think she intended. Like you said, with Trayvon,
shot him, so
like she went, but I mean, it might be violent, the nature of it, because you used a gun, but it was really self-preservation. She thought she was she thought she was in a position to have to protect herself, is what it sounds like. So that changes shit from going like, I'm so jaded by my job that I've seen it 100 times. I know because you're this, and this that you're a criminal. You're a threat. So let me shoot you and kill you. It was, I'm a woman. I'm in my home. And there's someone else in here. I have to protect myself. It kind of shifts things a little bit because of the lens she was looking through. It wasn't just the fact of her having police training. It's like, I'm a woman, you're a man. You could be, I'm thinking that you're here to inflict harm on me. So she has to think about it like, let me protect myself versus I've seen it 100 times before. I know because you're outside selling cigarettes that you deserve to be choked out because you're just a big fucking dude that has no respect for the law. And so you need to be killed. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference there between people who have been on the job for so long and they feel like they've seen it all. And I think that's what happens a lot with all these police killings is that I've seen it all. I deal with fucked up people all day long. So when someone tries to tell me, oh, I didn't really do it, and they've heard all these lies so many times or whatever, that they don't have any sympathy for it, versus somebody who's like thinking that they are in their own domain and are feeling that threat. That's a different thing. So 10 years of anybody's life, whether that's justifiable or not, that's going to be enough time for you to sit and think, like, whatever you deal with in those 10 years, even if you only do 5 or 4 for that amount of time, like, that's still going to have a huge impact on your life.
What's justifiable? I mean, true.
I don't know what's right and what's wrong in that situation. I really don't.
And that's the question. I think that's where things get tricky with people, and that's why sometimes I get a little tense about the social justice warriors, they call them, is that sometimes it can be misplaced. Now, I do feel like this her getting charged is making up for all the times that they didn't do it.
Exactly.
So I'm like, fuck it. Like, that's how I feel about it. She's going, because at the end of the day, a police officer is going to jail for killing irresponsibly. And is that not a good enough win to set precedents that this can happen? Maybe this will be the example to make others. Why
it's not for me though is because she was off duty. She felt that from what I could gather from it is she felt like a legit threat in her own home. Take the police part out of it. You could take somebody who grew up just with knowledge of how to use a firearm that always carries a gun on them, and you were in your own home and you feel that threat, regardless of whatever other training you've had. If you know that you have a weapon on, you could protect yourself and save your own life. That's different than being like, I'm out on the job, I've seen it 100 times, you're just a scumbag like everybody else, so I'm going to fucking kill you before you've had a chance to do anything. Because that's what's happened in a lot of the other situations where unarmed black men were killed by police officers. These cops just make this idea of like, oh, I've seen it before. And they shoot without asking because they've already made that idea and that determination in their head that person is like anybody else before that they've had contact with, and it's unfair to that person. It's abusing their power. Her being a woman in her home and a man in her home, to me, that changes things a little bit, regardless of race, regardless of cop versus civilian. It's a woman trying to protect herself to make sure she's not going to become a victim. It was what it seems like. And but at that same time, she could have shot him in the knee. She could have shot him below the waist, because there's this idea here in Kansas. I don't know if it's true or not, but if I shoot them below the waist, then I'm not going to get charged with murder. You can take them and paralyze them in a way to where they're not going to come at you as a threat. Shoot them in the knee and get the fuck out of your house.
Nah, that's not how you taught to shoot, though. You're not.
No, it's as a police officer, you're not. As a police officer, you're not. You're shoot to kill. But or whatever. But I'm just saying, if she would have felt like, oh, I'm in this threat, but okay, you have to think about if he's already in the house and you walk in, you're closer to the door than he is. So you could shoot him to keep him from coming at you to harm you, and then get the fuck out, so where you don't have to kill him, and then you can sort the pieces out later.
And see, based on her saying I fucked up, I really believe she shot him. She looked around and realized this ain't my place.
Right.
So it's just, I mean, I can see, and they did do a timeline. So just to be clear on that, they did do a timeline. The timeline was like, she sent this text, this happened, there was activity, because they used key cards. So it was activity at the door, and then this happened, and then she sent another text. So you get this little time frame where it's like boom, 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 boom. And, damn, that sound bad. But like, all right, so that happened. She got 10 years. She probably gonna get out early. Now, you got the thing that everyone seems to be split on, and that is the hug that happened with Botham Jean's brother and Amber Guyger. And that's the only thing I care to talk about, really, at this point. Because here's the facts of the matter. No one's going to give a fuck after a month. We're not going to talk about it no more. We're going to move on to the next thing.
There's a big uproar all the time, and then shit just kind of keeps going.
And for me, I don't have to live with the end of anyone's life here. I don't have to live with the death of Botham Jean. I don't have to live with the sentencing. I'm not the family. I'm not neither one of the family. So for them to be able to find forgiveness, I have to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be the person to tell them, if someone kill me, don't do that. Like, I want my
I've seen
family
that,
to find
yeah.
peace. You know, if that's how they find peace, cool. You know, I'm not too caught into Christian this, Christian that. Find peace. Because I don't
Well,
have to live with it.
I saw a story once. I watched a documentary, and this woman lost her son. He was like 16 or 17, and another like 16 or 17-year-old boy shot and killed him. So at his sentencing, she told him, "I'm going to kill you," is what she told the boy. And he's like, "What the fuck?" You know, like, this dude's mom is coming at me saying she's going to kill me, whatever. So he goes and he does his time, because since he was under 18, he got juvenile life, whatever. He gets out. And while he was locked up, though, the mom would come and visit him. And they developed this relationship. When he got out, she offered him a room in her house. He comes and stays with her. She gets him, helps him start finding work and all this stuff. And then one day she comes to him and she's like, "You remember how I told you I was going to kill you?" And he's like, thinking, "Oh shit, this has all been a setup to the day where she finally kills me." And she said, "I did it." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He said, that thug that you were, the gangster, all that shit.
God.
I killed that person and I made you into someone who is a totally different person.
Oh, that shit gave me the chills.
I got-
like, what?
I know, but the
I
fact,
was
like,
nervous.
do you know how strong of a woman that has to be to take in? She looked at that boy and understood his upbringing, his lifestyle, his outlook on life. Up until that point, he was so misled that even though he killed her child, she wanted to give him a chance. She wanted to give him an opportunity to have a different life.
I don't think I would want to walk around with that kind of anger either.
No, it destroys people.
And that's why, like, I kind of get
The
frustrated
brothers.
with not even that. Like, again, if that's how they choose to move on, I've already moved on. Like, they cry about that probably all the time. They have to deal with court. They do this shit all the time. I'm gonna go to work or whatever. I'm gonna turn on YouTube. I'm gonna watch the trial. Then I'm gonna go eat some shit. Like, I'm gonna go handle my life, and most of us will. So it's always kind of boggling. But what the fuck? Her soul just left 3 times, 4 times. Get it to me. But bless you.
Thank you.
But I don't think it's fair for, you know what? But that's what we do. We like commentary. This is our little piece of commentary to say what you would have and would do. And that's cool. Whatever. You have at it. But I don't think anyone should go at these people's family members to say that they are wrong for handling their life, who is
Right.
really the one that's changed by this.
Everybody
Ours is just
agrees,
commentary on the justice system, however we like it or dislike it. So for me, it sounds like shit, but I'm done with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw it. It happened. It was good drama. A police, I do look at it like a police officer is going to jail for this. She was definitely overcharged with a murder, but we get overcharged a lot too. So I'll take it. And it's fucked up, but this is that thing. It's like, it's not really, to me, about rehabilitation. It's about revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And we got one. We got to win. I don't know why I said we, because I just said I'm moving on with my life. But I think that's why I don't like the Sean Kings of the world and people like that, because they whole agenda is to profit off of the pain of the culture. Anytime we're sad or mad or in the uproar, that's when they make the most money. And they are sometimes the ones that are facilitating those conversations. And I think for us as people of color, we have to get to a place where we start to stop normalizing anger and be productive. Like, what are we doing to, these bad things will continue to happen? Because somehow conveniently they seem to stop happening at a high clip that they used to happen last year, which they have not stopped happening. We just stopped talking about it. But what have we done to be more productive from there other than be angry every time the next one comes up?
Right.
Like Amber Guyger, this wasn't this big racial case as we make it seem out to be. It wasn't. It just happened at a time where a lot of it was happening.
Well,
and
'cause
we
like I
went,
told
there's
you,
another one.
that the situation where I had, it was like in the car and the dude came up or whatever, and I was like, I locked the door. It wasn't about race. It was about the fact that he was a man, and I had to, yeah, right over there.
You know, you.
I had to think about the level of threat, as me as a woman and him as a man. And I just wonder for her how much of that was the same thing. It's not about black versus white or cop versus civilian. It's like, I'm a woman. I have to protect myself.
And that's what I think it was, honestly. And she was feel like motherfuckers like she could have just like, man, don't act like you ain't never just been startled by someone saying, hey, how are you? And you wasn't ready for the shit.
Mm-hmm.
She was texting. She was already lying to a nigga. She was doing this, coming to the crib, walked into a crib, thought it was hers. And they said because my thing was like, how the fuck she walked in? But with a key card, because like, man, that bitch was cracked a little bit. You know, he probably was waiting on something.
Could have been.
But there was something faulty with their
So her
system.
card worked on his door?
I think that's what happened. And they were saying that the family is going to sue Southside Flats because of the key entry thing. So
yeah, because that shit is extremely
clearly
unsafe. Like, right.
You could get killed, huh?
Yeah, you sure could. And
So,
own home.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why it's like, but that wasn't in the thing. But that's why I go to like, this really wasn't that big case. This
not
wasn't
like some
the
of the
one.
other ones, yeah.
And
Right.
it'd be nice if this was one of those, but this wasn't the one. This was probably gonna happen this way if it wasn't on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad they we did it right. We did it again. We did it with the sniper. We did that right. Say, man, you're gonna do a crime, do it in Dallas, you're gonna take your ass to jail, man.
Yeah, they don't play around.
Anyway, what you got? We've been talking for a minute. She's got a wreath, Halloween coming.
I do Halloween, I do Christmas, fall, sports teams, whatever you need. Your kid's bedroom, wedding stuff. I had people hit me up for wedding stuff. They wanted an Alice in Wonderland shit.
So you only do wreaths?
I mean, I can do I do lots of stuff, but wreaths
Mostly
kind of,
wreaths.
yeah, I like to do wreaths.
Would you like Halloween or Christmas?
That's a hard one.
That's what
That. No, I love Halloween because it's so much fun to dress up. It's so much fun to get into character and to be these different personas and stuff. But I love Christmas because I have my son's birthday is the 19th. I got twin nieces the 2 days after Christmas. It's just about like coming together and bringing the family together and doing traditional stuff. I don't care so much about like the gifts and everything. I like a reason for anybody to get together. You could tell me, oh, it's Tuesday. You know, we like to get together on Tuesday. I'm like, yes, we do like to get together on Tuesdays. I love any reason for people to get together and make. Okay, y'all.
My kid is Mexican.
I have an obsession with themed food. I make food if it has a theme behind it. Listen, it's insane. I have a problem. It's like an addiction. I don't know if I'm.
What do you mean a theme?
Like so, like even for like okay, like if the theme is
my theme is dinner, lunch, breakfast,
Halloween food. Like if you're gonna have a party and it's Halloween, my son's birthday was we did a Marvel's birthday party. So like the cake was Hulk coming out of the cake, smashing out, and there's like all this stuff. The pizza looked like Iron Man's face. It's just theme like that. Like if it has a theme behind it, I love to make food for it. It could be a football game. I'll make the 7-layer dip look like a football man. Where the beans are on top, you use sour cream to make the lines. You know,
this mug is a mother for real. That's some mother shit.
I can't help it.
No, you could.
No, I can't. I enjoy it like thoroughly. I love it.
What time you getting up to make this theme?
Sometimes I start the night before, depending on what it is.
I bet the food don't even be hitting like that.
Listen, there's not enough left to take home. I'll tell you that. So everybody cleans it out. That must mean something.
To be nice.
Shit, I have people during the holidays make food orders as well. They want them pies. They want them pumpkin rolls. Okay.
First of all, what pie?
I can't even listen. I got this one pie that I make. First of all, cheesecake. The best cheesecake you ever had. Guacamole, best guacamole ever. I make this one pie, and I used to call it Joe's pie because it was my ex-husband's favorite kind, and I don't even know what to rename it now, but it's like a pudding.
Put some respect on that man's name.
Listen, it's a good pie. I'll tell you that.
See, See, man, you ain't said
Sweet
nothing.
potatoes. Oh my
Okay, there
God,
you
my
go.
favorite.
Now you finally said something.
Listen, have you ever had sweet potatoes with bacon and cheese on them instead of all the sweet toppings?
Why you disrespect?
Have we
Why
talked
you
about
want to
this?
disrespect
Have
the
we talked
sweet
about this
potato
already?
pie?
A sweet potato pie, that's fine. I'll do it sweet all day. But when you eat actual sweet potatoes instead of doing like the brown sugar and the marshmallows and all that on top, have you ever had it with the cheese and bacon and like scallions on top?
No, why would I do that?
Okay.
Why would I do
Okay.
that?
Next time I come, I'm bringing I got sweet potatoes at the house right now.
Why would you do that? Why would you
It's
experiment?
that savory sweet combo. I'm telling you, it is better than having the marshmallows on top. It's fucking better.
Did you come up with this by yourself?
You know what? Back in the day, I worked at a steakhouse, and I remember this one customer would come in, and he would order his shit loaded with cheese and bacon and scallions. I was like, "Ooh, that is so nasty." And then I finally tried it. That is getting you. That's the second time it got it. Second time it came to bite your ass.
Look, what's your favorite dish? What's your best dish?
If I'm gonna make a
Find this
whole
favorite.
meal, my favorite is not fried chicken, but baked chicken, corn, homemade mashed potatoes. I like to use the red potatoes, y'all, with the garlic and all that stuff. Mashed potatoes and gravy and some biscuits. That is my favorite, like comfort, or some homemade chicken noodle soup. Oh my God.
Baked chicken.
Baked chicken.
What you use, pepper or what?
You said pepper?
Yeah.
I can't give out recipes now.
If
There's
it
certain
ain't-
things that you just don't share.
I watched a YouTube the other day, and this dude was making. I often I would go on YouTube to see, what can I put on something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What's another way to make something? And I was looking up pork chops, and this mother he cooked the pork chops like, you want to do it by 20 minutes on this side, and then you flip it over. Now when I flip it over, it's almost done, and now we add a little pepper to it and some salt, and man, that's a good pork chop. Hey, nigga, that's it. You did
That's
all that to
basic.
drop pepper and salt. This motherfucker said, I just want to eat meat. And that was it.
You gotta marinate that shit, tenderize it, let it sit overnight in some stuff.
Man, you just be. I think you low key capping, honestly.
I mean, have I said anything to? I don't know what I have
The sweet
said.
potato kind of threw me.
Okay, next time I come over, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna bring you some sweet potatoes. So I gotta come back this weekend anyways to bring you your manly wreath. So I'm gonna bring you some sweet potatoes.
Yeah, she had in competition with my neighbor to have a better wreath, but that ain't happening. All right, we finna wrap this shit up. I didn't find a song, so I'm gonna use the song of I'll figure it out. You'll hear a song at the end of this episode. Kind of Famous Pod, KINDAFamousPod.com, the official website. Go there. As well as make sure you just go to the Facebook page. Facebook.com/Kind of Famous Pod. This motherfucker got me drunk, so I ain't really. She done had 3 of these. I'm on like 1.5 because I like to take my time.
Catch up.
She done. No, I'm not even sure she can make it home.
I'm more than fine.
Just up the street. If you can't make it, Uber is only 17 cents from here to there. Facebook.com/Kind of Famous Pod. What's coming up? Ain't nothing coming up.
Halloween.
Halloween, that's later this month. I'm gonna be back on before then. I gotta figure out some fucking ghost stories.
Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta talk some paranormal shit, some Freaky Friday shit.
My dad could tell a good ghost story. I halfway believe some of that shit.
It might be real.
It might have been.
You seen a ghost?
I have seen ghosts, yes.
All right, we'll talk about that some other time. So gotta figure that out. EFC 13 coming up October 19th.
It's exciting.
It should be all right. That's what that's my plug.
You
It
know
should
what?
be all right.
You never know what one of these fighters might pull out their ass, and it turn the whole show upside down. You never know. That's the amazing thing about fighting. Somebody could be getting their ass whipped the whole time, and then I know where someone else just all it takes is that one punch. That's what's so crazy about a fight.
Yeah.
That one position, that one submission, whatever.
Are you talking about sex? Shout out to Earl Spence. Earl Spence, another Dallas boy, beat that boy ass this weekend. Talk about one punch. Put it on him. So Earl Spence, man down. Spence, man. Appreciate that. Not appreciate it. I appreciate that victory because I got a little money from him. But man, my guy is the best fighter in the welterweight division, hands down. and ain't nobody fucking with him, and it is what it is. We need Keith One Time Thurman to come on get that ass whooped. And that's the end of that. You probably know nothing I'm talking about. That's boxing. So, big boxing fan. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Till next time.
Sorry, different song.
A whole different song. Tell your mama I said hi.
So, in light of you being kind of famous,
Why the hell I'm kind of famous? Who the hell she know?